Well, I think we are live. Yeah, I think we are. We are. Yeah. I think we are live. Why not? Why not? I mean, this evening was not planned. This evening was in theory not planned. In fact, I'm 1 hour or more late. But I arrived home a bit earlier than I was thinking. And I arrived home about 2 hours earlier than I was, well, 1 hour and a half earlier than I was thinking. And so I said, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Mir. My ears are moving up only sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes they move up, sometimes they don't. It's very hard to move the ears up. I don't know why. So yeah, the stream of tonight was not planned, but you know, I arrived a bit earlier and I said, let's do it. Let's do it. Do you really want to leave this Alpha 0713 with no comments forever, boys? Why you don't post something like I don't know, I like the release, like I don't know, some questions, whatever. Do you really want to leave it without comments? Why? 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 By the way, Twitch got hacked, as you know. So someone decided to enter in the Twitch servers and just download all of their main server data and then spread it over the internet with a peer-to-peer program and things like that. So I think there is actually a torrent running around with millions of Twitch data, but including my password probably, and including other stuff. But the good news is that the password that I use for Twitch is not the password I use anywhere else. And the second good thing is that I enabled the two-factor authentication. And the third good news is that Twitch decided to change all streaming keys. And so I had to reset the streaming key a few minutes ago. And so no one can stream with my identity. Otherwise, you would have probably, you know, seen someone else. I think it would be hard for him to be the same Tiger, but someone else that would, you know, stream on this channel and say, ha 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 ha, I stole all the Twitch password, now I can stream on any channel I want. But yeah, that didn't happen. I mean, that didn't happen. At the moment, you know, Twitch seems to operate fine. And I checked, I'm streaming on Twitch, so I think we are good. I think we are good. So, yesterday, we were working on the character creation, right? We were working on the character creation, and in particular, wait, I'm looking at stuff, music. Okay. So, and in particular, we were doing these nice drawings, right? These nice drawings. Now, the only point is that we need to be sure that we are doing two things. Positioning the drawing in the proper place. Second, this thing will never work this way. I mean, it will never fit. Second, we want the colors to be fixed, but that I did already. So I fixed the colors. We need to decide if the top is really 150 or not, but potentially yes. I don't think you can go over 150 in the character creation, and even if you go, they will stay like at the top, right? I think people are starting. Well, you see that all the values are pretty low. I think we could even go 100, you know. Let's go 120. How much you think? How much you think we can? Can we make a literal float of some kind and 120 and then just connect it everywhere, so I don't have to, you know, type it 20 times. And by the way, hello Piat Machine, hi, welcome, and hello Jet, hi, hello. So this whole discussion, yeah, we'll be yawning maybe a bit, but this whole discussion is, I mean, why we do this? The discussion started because we said, oh, do we show the points, or do we, or we don't show the points to the player? And my point was, if we don't show anything, right, it's a bit pointless then to assign points, because people will have to go, you know, back and forth between the character creation 20 million times to understand how the points are. And so I think at the end we are just asking for trouble if we don't tell the player what we are putting in the numbers, or at least we don't give an indication of what is happening, right? So I think I would like to give them an indication of what is happening. And so that is why in the character creation screen, now we have a button here at the bottom right, which is saying, hey, click on me. Maybe it is not very visible. Maybe you can put an arrow, I mean, the first time, saying check your stats here or something like that. But there is a button here that you can use to show your stats on screen, right? Now, how do we ensure that this box is actually generated in the right place? And also, how do we ensure that this thing has less space between? Because now the space, now that I have the design pretty much done, the space is start to bother me a bit. I mean, why there is a grid panel? Okay, grid panel is like this. But the problem is that because I scaled this drawing, right, to 0.8, and I did it by purpose because I wanted to have it a bit more compact. But the annoying part of that is that it's not now it's not centered anymore, right? Unless I do this. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's leaving space. And the space is super annoying. So how do we fix this? Do we just do a -10 on this guy? Maybe we can do this trick. Wait. We can do this trick. We can do this trick and no one will know. That's very, 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 very nice. Now the only problem is, how do I decide? So -15. So if this is minus 15, this one needs to be minus 30. And so on, right? And this one needs to be minus 45. So it's incremental because every time. And this one is minus 60. And this one is minus 75. Okay. Pararam, pararam. I think it's fine. Now, there is this bit of a thing, but I don't think we care. I think no one will know it. No one will know it. Now, the other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to give a bit of a description, right? So that you click on this thing. The problem is that I don't know if we can click. Can we click on the bar? No, we cannot click on the bar. And we cannot click on the grid. So, or we do a mouse over, or we have to add a button. No, because my idea was to add, you know, a kind of a way to click and get a description of what it is, right? Of what it is. So in theory, I should add a button on top of this thing. There is an invisible button, so no one will see it, but I think we need to do this, boys. I know is weird, but we need to do it. And by the way, this button should be... Why is not foreground? Why is not foreground? What is layer? If I do one... very nice. Very nice. But the problem is this one needs to be scaled 0.8 or less, and it needs to be moved minus 15. So it's basically, well, no, minus 15 doesn't work on this one. Why? I can reduce it 0.7 maybe. Do you think someone will click on this? Maybe someone will click. I don't know. We can rename it button strength, and we can clone it forever. Right? And we make it... No, wait. Before cloning, I need to make it transparent. We make it alpha 0. Okay, alpha 0. I think with alpha 0, it will still be clickable. I think it will still be clickable. Yeah, I think it will. I think it will, boys. So we copy and boys and girls, boys and girls. So I think we can just continue to paste, and they will actually work. Now, you may say, oh, is this really needed? Is this really needed? Well, somehow. Because so the point is, if the player is choosing something, we want to give him an indication of what he's choosing, and also we want to give an indication of what effect he may have in the game, right? So that's the whole point of this exercise. So so I will put here something that is connecting all the pieces, and it will pay description of stats, right? So I think this way we are also going to slowly introduce the player to our rules. I mean, that he understands what is going on in this game. Something that probably we don't understand. We don't understand, you know. Not even we understand, but okay. So these buttons will provide a description. Now, where do we put the description? I think the best would be in a data table, the client side, that we can just, you know, refer to whenever it clicks. I think that would probably be the easiest way. So I think we will create like a data table, stats information or something like that. I don't know where to put it, but we have a data thingy, and DT race description. Too complex. I just need a name and description. That's it. I don't need anything else. So I think we need to create a new structure. Unless we have a key value structure, but I don't think we have it. Let's make a new structure, which is under miscellaneous, I think. No, which is under blueprints. Yes. So we will create a new key value struct that maybe we can reuse in the future, and this one will just have name and value or something, right? And it will be 2 strings, right? And in our case, then we create a new data table, a new data table that we call yes, based on key value struct. Yes. And we call it stats description. Yeah, this is not the right place though. Ah, yes, it is. It's just that I have to call it DT underscore, because this is our naming convention. DT stats description. By the way, Green Italy start to be cold. It start to be cold. Why? I want to save this. Why? No idea. Okay, so now this one, right? We will have row name. I always forget there is a row name already. Fuck. There is row name already. I do this mistake all the time. So actually we don't need name, we just need value, because the name is provided by default by this thingy, right? So the name will be str, and then we need a good description for strength. Do we have a description of our stats anywhere? Boys, do we have a description of our stats anywhere? Well, we have it for sure in the original rules documents. In the original rules documents. And be careful, because these documents are dating back when the dinosaurs were there. Okay. But we have a description, you see. Let me see if in the plane shift RPG I expanded that or not. Good question. Do we have a plane shift RPG document anywhere? I have it, and I have it on Google Docs. So I need to check. Plane shift tabletop player handbook. You didn't know it existed, huh? You didn't know it existed, boys, huh? Look at this version number. Do you like it? Oh, there is the current version number. Hello, Ula. Yeah, this is a stream that should not exist, but it actually exists. Strength measures your character muscular and physical power. Did we copy it from? It's very similar, though. Huh? It's very similar. I mean, this description is better. The problem of this description is that it is copyrighted, because it is in the tabletop you are using the D20 system, and the text that is in white is part of the D20 text. The text that is in blue is our text, right? So there are some parts that are obviously ours and parts that are not ours. So if you want to use this, right? If you want to use this, we need to change it. But do we have it in game? Like when you go on strength in game, do you see a description? I think we do. In the old game, I mean. I think when you click on a skill, you get a description, no? I just don't remember if... I just don't remember where the description is coming from. But I think we have it. Right? I think we have it. So assuming that we have it, assuming that we have it, where the hell is it? Good question. Very good question. Could be inside the skill window? I'm not sure. Stats description, you say? Stats description. Is it coming from the database? Maybe it's just coming from the database. I think it's coming from the database. I think it's... I think there are good chances it's coming from the database. Because the database is actually the only place where we have... yes, it comes from the database. Okay, we can use this. Wait a second, I was finishing to eat an apple. An apple, not a phone. Not an Apple phone. I mean, yes, I'm back. I was finishing eating an apple and then I started the stream. Okay, we can use this one. Strength is the main ability for causing damage. I think it's not really good English. For dealing damage, no? Nom 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 nom. What we were saying, the old one? I think measure the muscular power of your body is not bad. It should probably come from the database anyway. Do we have this already? You know what? I think we have it already. I think what I'm doing here is totally useless. Because I think for every character we are already receiving the skills. Now the problem is that we are receiving the skills when you... We are receiving the skills when... that's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm doing something duplicate. I should not do it. I think we are already receiving this description somewhere. I just need to understand where, but for sure we are receiving the description. In the skill window we have them 100%. Now, the question is when we receive it, because here we are in the character creation, so it's before everything happens. Because I guess the win skill, you know, is receiving skill data from the server, you know, but this receive skill data is based on the character. Or not. No, it's a separate one because the player data is coming later. So probably this one is done at the beginning. Very interesting. So maybe we can use this one. So if this one is called, but I think this one is called when this window is created. Fuck. I think this one is called when this window is created. Request skill abilities. I think this window is created way after the character creation. It's as usual in the construct. This construct, by the way, is fucked up everywhere. Because I was thinking that this construct was happening. I mean, or we force it earlier. But I don't like forcing it earlier, really. I really don't like it. I don't like forcing it earlier, but I mean, it's pretty evident that we will need this data in the character creation. Request skill abilities. Receive skill abilities. We may decide, you know what we can do? We can request it earlier, before character creation. And then we store it somewhere on the client. And then when we instantiate the skill window, we go and get dealing works or inflicting. Yeah. Why brought me here and not to where I wanted to go? My request was to go receive skill ability, get all abilities by category. Yeah, exactly. You see that this one is asking cash manager, so this one is not really asking for the particular player. There is a generic request, right? Yeah, so the idea I think what we can do, we can call this one earlier. Let's do this because it's a good idea. Do we want to do it as soon as you click on create character, or do we want to do it really on the I think on create character. The only problem is that if then you create multiple characters, we are sending data for nothing, right? No, we can assume that we have it and we will not repopulate it. Yes. So I think can be done on create character. Okay. So this request skill ability, actually, we are not gonna do it anymore. We are gonna assume that we are gonna assume fuck, we were doing by category. We were doing it by category. It's a bit more complex, boys. We were doing it by category. Because the number of skills is pretty big, the description is, I mean, the amount of description is high, and so we split it by groups. We have 4 groups. This is making things a bit more complex. Because I mean, I can do the same for loop, and I can store it in 4 arrays, and then I can create a function that is using those abilities. Actually, it's 5 arrays. I can store those abilities, and or I can pre-create that screen. But if I pre-create the screen, it's becoming a mess. I'm sure it's becoming a mess. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. What is the best solution here? What is the best solution? So I have few solutions in my mind. One is to store 4, well, actually 5 of these arrays and ask for this list the first time you create a character, and this list is then on your client, and we are going to use it later on during the character creation and during the game with when we display the skill window. That's one way. That's one way. Is there another way? Is there another way? Well, yes. The other way is that we create a specific function only for character creation, where we ask for all the skills and their descriptions, and we populate the same array anyway. So I think it's pretty similar. I think it's pretty similar, with the difference that I'm not reusing this function, but it's pretty much the same. So I think I have no way out than storing that stuff. The fact that it's split in 5 arrays helps me, because is then the way I populate them by area. Well, no, another way could be to create a function that is asking to the server only the stats and their description that we use in that particular widget. And then creating another function that is asking to the server the description of all the skills that we have at the end of the character creation, and display that. So basically having dedicated functions, right? Having dedicated function instead of requesting the full list. We will need the full list anyway when you start the game, right? We will need the full list anyway when we start the game. So the duplication in terms of bandwidth is between creating a character and entering into the game. You're getting that duplicated, but I think I like more the idea of a custom function that is returning the one that I need. Probably yes. Probably yes. Probably I like more the idea to say give me the stats and their description, right? So okay, I think we will go that way. This one is useless. So if we go that way, we need one, well, actually two. We need a request and a receive. I mean, a request and receive. We can put it on player controller. We can keep it under character creation. And this one will be... Now, I don't know if I want to make it generic or not. That's a very good question. So we will request something. We will request stats description. Stat descriptions, whatever. And then we will have a receive stat descriptions, which is implementable event in this case, right? And this implementable event will have so is an array, is a T array of whatever, of this thing. Is a T array of abilities, right? Where was it? is a T array. Is a T array of this skill set. Now, skill set I think has a bit more stuff than what we need. Skill ID, name, and abilities. What? No. No, wait. There's no description? We are not sending the description. What? We are not sending the description. Because this is the receive skill abilities, and that I understand, but it should also be receive skills, no? I mean, these are the abilities inside a skill, and that I understand. But wait. Receive skill abilities, receive skill values. Bro, but who is sending me the real ability? So we are not sending the description. Okay. So in Unreal we are not sending the description of the abilities for whatever reason. It seems so strange, but I think it's the truth. I think it's the way it works, boys. Today. It sounds a bit weird, but it's probably the way. So we never sent the description in Unreal. I mean, I can check it. We can add it. We can add it easy. I mean, it's not a problem. I just want to avoid doing something that already exists, or you know. So I just want to do it in the best way possible without duplicating stuff. But it seems that we are not... Come on, client. You can do it. I know that you are starting the server as well. I know it's tough times. But you can do it! Go! Okay. I think I nearly did it. The streaming levels. So basically, now I want to enter the game, open the skill window, and see what I see, but I think we will not see a description for the single skill. I think we will see it's still loading, freaking hell. But I think I can open the window this side and... Which, by the way, I already have it open. And the point is that it's hard to understand from here. It's hard to understand it from here, because from here we are actually doing... I mean, it's quite complex. It's quite complex. And here is this one. Now, the description should be here. There must be a description, text description. So where are we getting the description from? Wait. We have a description. Find references, get description, set description. Set skill description. Get data row. Ah, we get it from a data table and not from the database. Wow. Wow. So we have already this data table. Wow. You see that it's good that I investigated, because actually we had it already. It was just not clear from the code. But it's good that I investigated because we have it. Because we absolutely have it. We absolutely have it. So the stuff in the database is obsolete. I think I agree with this approach, because we don't send the data twice or 3 times. We just read it from the client, and it's so much better. So I think I agree with myself, basically. I agree on what I did at that time. We just need to be careful. Let me do this. Let me reload this, because this one we don't want to change it. Okay, this one we don't want to change it. Now, since we have this, I can copy this, and now we need the ID, because the ID is the actual. Okay, but the ID we know, we know all the IDs of everything. So in reality, I can very simply, right? Very simply, I can do this. The only problem is the row name. But I can put I can hardcode it, because anyway they will never change. Strength will always be 50. This will never change. So I could do this. I could get the row out, and I can put it directly into this. So this is simpler than I was thinking then. With the only fuck up that you see that the description is going over this. So probably the description will not fit. This is pretty bad. Well, I can add a padding to the right to be like 50 or so, or 60 or so, or 70 or 80. Okay, now the text is fitting into this. Okay, nice. Very good. So this one becomes a variable, is in his txt stat description, right? And this txt stat description, we get it and we set the text. Okay, yeah. So at the end it was simpler. It was really simpler than I was thinking. So it's good that we did all the checks needed, because we saved some stuff. We need to do the same for all the others, but I mean, at the end it's very easy. Can I do it with one code? Can I do it with one code? No, I cannot, because unless I set it into a variable, well, I could. I could promote this to a variable. And I can call it temp stat description. So we simplify a bit the drawing. I mean here the graph, because the graph otherwise will be kind of immense. No, sorry, I did something stupid. It's not this one I need to, it's this one. It's not this one that I need to promote to variable. Is the other one. So this one will be what? will be temp stat description, right? No, temp stat ID, let's call it temp stat ID, right? Temp stat ID. So the only thing we want to do, yeah, we want to do this. We want to do this and this and this. But before that, we want to set it to 50, right? So we do it only once, otherwise we're gonna do it a million times. So we do this part only once, right? So the only thing that duplicates is this. That is the only piece that duplicates, which is very nice. So strength is 50, agility is what? Agility is 46. Now if we mess up, we will see it immediately because the description will be wrong. Endurance is 48. Okay, easy. Intelligence is what? 49. 49. Will is 51. And charisma is 47. Okay, at this point, all the lines will point here, and then this guy will use, you know, that value to actually display the description and put it here. Okay, I think the only thing we need to do, we need to add the name. Ah, fuck. If you want to add the name, do we want to add strength? Yes, we want to. We want to. I knew it. I knew it. There was something else. I knew it. I knew it. Okay, fine, fine. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. We can survive this easy. We can survive this easy. So we will do this, and then we will say. So we will append the name and then the description, right? And this will go into this. Right? So yeah, so that we can say strength equals to blah blah blah. Because they may not know, for example, what will WIL is, right? Strength. I know I don't need to put that because I put it after. So this, because we have just an abbreviation on the graph, and so people may not know what they are looking at. Why I'm missing one? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. I mean, something like that, right? Something like this. Okay. Now. Now I just need to type here the right agility, endurance, intelligence, will, and charisma. I have no idea how you read charisma in English. You say like charisma, charisma.
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 It's not too bad. You pretty much say it the right way. Good evening, Tony. This is a secret stream. This stream should never have happened, but it did. This stream was in theory not going to happen. but I arrived home a bit earlier than I expected, and so I said, why not? Why not spend some time on our beloved game? Okay, so I think that this is fine, and it will set the text whenever I click. Do we want to test it? Yes, I think we want to test it, huh? We want to see if this is gonna happen or not. The position of the widget, I have no idea. I think I need to find the right position kind of manually. Well, actually I could do, to know the right position, I could do the size of this, which is at the moment 350, minus 1920. 1920 minus 370 or something. So 1550 in theory should be the position of this guy on the X. If we keep this, if we keep these sides, right? 1550. At the moment it's 1000. Now we want a bit of space maybe, so we can say 1500. And vertically, vertical is a bit harder because actually the description can be longer, and so the description here will go down for sure. But at the moment our guy is about 370 again. It's pretty much a square at the moment. 370. So I will have to do 1080 minus 370. So it will be 710. 710 I think is pretty much what we have now. 710 is pretty much, yeah, we have 700. So I think vertically is already correct. Horizontally it needs to be fixed. And here the story began. We're so lucky. You felt like streaming. Thank you, Tony. That's so nice of you. Okay, so if I click on anything now,
the long-lived Elvin Nothrir.
we have the voice thingy. Now if I click here, yeah, the horizontal is wrong because, oh fuck, the mouse over on the button. But in theory, if I click here, I'm receiving, yeah, strength. You see, strength, agility. So we get the description. Now the problem is, oh my god, okay, I see. So this thing is changing based on the size of the description. So if the description is very long, this bar becomes very small. If the description is very short, they become, so we need to fix this somehow. But let's fix the mouse over first, because the mouse over is very annoying. The mouse over is just that I didn't change the color of the hovered, right? And the pressed to the same. Fuck, I need to do it on all of them. Okay. Easy. Easy grunt work. Okay. So we have this. Now, why this thing is changing the size of this? It's changing the size of this because these two are kind of connected, because they are in the same grid. Now, can we make them not in the same grid? Well, actually, yes. I can transform this panel to be a vertical panel. No. If I do this, What happened? Wow, this became weird. But they are very close to each other now. Why? Why? Before there was a lot of space. Now there is no space anymore. No. No. I need to change the what? I need to change the grid panel position. I know, because he reset all my values, huh? He reset all my values, I think. Translation is 0000000. 0000. Well, but what if I do this? What if I add a bit of a padding to the left? No, 10 is too much. What if I add 5 and 5? I think 5 and 5. I think 5 and 5 is nice. To my, can I do it on the grid, or I have to do it on the? No, I cannot do it on the grid. I need to do it on this. It seems to be working though. I don't know why we have this situation, but I think it's okay. I think it's a weird situation. Oops. I think it's a weird situation, but man, why I cannot copy this? Wait. Control C, Control V. Yes, exactly. Control V again? No, you can Control V only once. I don't know why, but you can Control V on only once. Okay. I mean, fine. I can control. Wow. You can Control V only once, and you also need to change focus. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. But you know what? I think that it became bigger. Okay, let's say the final form we will decide, okay? But I think that now they will always stay one after the other, so there will be not that problem anymore. And also the position will be okay. This mouse over will be okay. Now the only problem is that the text may go on top of the feet of this guy, may not be very readable. So the question is, do we want a background? I don't really like a background. I think we should stay without a background. Another thing I want to do, I want to be able to rotate this guy with my mouse, but that's for another day. That's for another day.
The long-lived Elven Nothrir originate from the home world of Dermoria, a world of light.
Nice. We have the voiceover. Easy voiceover. Okay, let me close this. Okay, anyway, we are very close to have it work, because as you can see, we have the colors right. Okay, we have the colors right. We have the text right. And we have the values right. So pretty much everything is working. Let me just check one thing before I restart it. Is that with this change, this thing is still as big as it was before? I think this thing became bigger. Because he reset my scale. Now I understand. No, the scale is here, 0.8. If I put 1, what happens? You see, if I put 1, it becomes way more fat. Because I think it was 370, right? Now it's 425. It's 425. It's 425. So if we do 1920 minus 425 is 1595, and then we want to have at least, 50 of space. So I would say minus 50 again, so it will be 1445. So 1445 1445. And 700 I think is still correct. The only problem will be the bottom. Because the bottom... I think if the description is too long, it will go over the screen. I mean, we'll go after the screen ends. So it will be cut off. If it's too long, it will be cut off. But we can keep a reasonably, you know, a description. We can keep it reasonably short. The point is just to describe a bit to the player what is going to use those things for. Right? So now I'm expecting that this thing is working for multiple races. So whatever is the race that you click, you should be able to see it. Right? And here, so if I click, I'm just waiting the end of the voiceover.
Would be
So if I go Stonehammer, I don't know why it's not speaking, but probably because I didn't connect it. But if I click here, fuck, it's too low. Really, it's too low? Can we scale the wall widget? These lines are too long. I think something happened when I moved it. I think everything became bigger when I think I did the calculation wrong. 1080 minus 425. Yeah, exactly. 655. So why did I say 700 was okay? I mean, it's impossible. 700 cannot be okay. Now these bars are a bit too big, no? Considering the screen and considering everything, I think everything is too big. Everything is too big. Can we just scale the whole thing? If I scale everything, what happens? Do you think the position is gonna be wrong or... Well, the font may look weird. But in theory I can scale... Wait, I can scale... I can scale this piece. Or I can scale... No, because if I scale this piece, let me try 0.7 and 0.7. Yeah, the text will be fucked up and the position will be fucked up. So I think it's not a very good idea to scale only a piece, because if you scale only a piece, no, it's not a very good idea to scale only a piece. You need to scale the wall widget. So you scale everything or nothing. Okay, let's start from that point of view. So let's do 0.7, 0.7. And we will increase the text though, because we want the text to be a bit bigger than this. Why is it doing this? Ah, yes, I think I know why. Yeah, is sensitive to change. Is sensitive to change. The only problem is why... Okay, now I scale this, right? But can I move it? Hold control to update the widget position? What do you mean? I cannot move it. I cannot move it. Anyway, the scale, boys, the scale is fucking up everything. Look at the, I mean, he's super confused of what to do. You see? He is super confused. Like, he sees pieces of the witch, he sees the canvas here, and he sees the... I think the scale is problematic. I think the scale is problematic. But I think we can still try to use it. Because anyway, we want that thing to be smaller. And I don't want to redo, you know, to redo all the pieces. And so I think that our friend Unreal Engine needs to cooperate here. Needs to cooperate. Let me move it up significantly, and we will see how it looks. I think the right side is okay. And again, we are not shooting for perfection. I just want it to be, you know, visible. And in a place that is not too annoying, like really completely on top of the character. But I think it looks okay. I think it looks okay. Far away from where his mission would be accomplished. Yeah, something like that. It's not bad. It's a bit on top of the character, but I think it's fine. I mean, we could even put it here in the middle in theory, yeah? Okay, we will find a position. For now, it's like this. You can enable it. Should we put it in the middle? But if then the description... So the point is, if you do this, and you go back, I think if I click on back now, this thing will stay on. That's not very nice. Okay, I need to fix that. But the point is that these values are changing based on the race, right? So in theory, if you have it on, now the problem is that in the database, these values are not really, because I'm using the dummy database, and so these values are not really meaningful. These all the values are at 50, you know, and it's a bit annoying, I know. I should put different values here, but this is because it's the dummy database, and dummy database we don't care about this thing. I think we should, but we don't care. Okay, but let's assume we have different values. I think I put the different value at least for one of them. I think for the null thread. But you see that here is 50, 50, 50, 50. And you click on the strength, you get the strength description. You click on the agility, you get the agility description, and so. This one is very, very, very long. I don't know why it's so long, but anyway, it fits. The idea is that you do this, you go back, you check another race. Oh, let's look at this one.
The Ankitakai are from the
Right?
home world of
Oh, let's look at this one, and you see, you know, and you see the panel again, and if you go, for example, in the null tree, you say, oh, they have a lot of will, they have very little agility, they have a lot of strength. Now, this is dummy data, but this is what you're gonna see. Now, if you want, you can also have a mouse over with the value, but I don't know if I want to have the values here. I think it's okay for now. And this will work with the right values, right? Do you want to have mouse over and see the number? I'm a bit against it, but if you really want it, I can put it on. So the point is that you see this, okay? Yeah, maybe we should mouse over value. I think we should. Or we put the number here and fuck it. Because the point is that after you choose the race, you know, and you confirm this guy, you give a name, you change a bit the appearance and etc. And you confirm it, you arrive in this screen. And in this screen, I would like to have exactly the same button. And when you select one of this, you will see the change, right? You will see the change in the stats. You know what is the problem? The problem is that I don't know if we have enough space. Or we put it on this side. Because actually this widget will cover these two symbols. So if I want to click on these two symbols, I will have to close the widget and open it again, which is kind of annoying. But I don't think I have a better solution at the moment. Okay, let's try to put the button there and see what happens. Do we want the mouse over with the values? Or do we want to have the values at the top? I think we can just have the values at the top. I know it's annoying. I know it's annoying for the... I mean... I don't really like it too much, but... Do you want the numbers at the top here, boys, or not? Do you have a point of view? If you want to see 70 strength, or you just want to see that the strength is a bit higher? Because in theory, I mean, for me it's not very hard. For me, putting a number here is not hard at all. I just take a text, I put it in the grid, and I say that this guy is in 0, 0, and is in front of everything. And I set a value which is reasonable, and this will contain the number like, I don't know, 55. We say that it's centered, and we give him a padding from the top of, I don't know, 10, and here you have it, right? Or 20, and here you have it. Now if he's white, I think we will not see it. White on white. So maybe we need to change the number for the one that are very... But I could put the number here for all of them. And we can show it on mouse over, or we can show it nonetheless. I think we can show it nonetheless. I wanted to avoid the numbers though. The problem, you know what, I think it would be hard for the people to compare, because they switch between the races, they go back and forth, and they see that these values are changing, but do they know? I don't know. I don't know if you have a point of view, Boris. Hello, I'm Bright. Hi. I'm doing great, thank you. How are you? I'm doing great. I'm just trying to understand how to balance, you know, the visibility. I mean, if I want to show numbers or not in the character creation. If I want just to say, oh, this character has a bit more strength than the other character, and so just consider it this way. Or if I want to tell this character has 55 initial strength, the other one is 60, right? And because I don't know if this number is actually healthy to show at the beginning, making things more complex, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I like without numbers because it's just an indication. It's more role play. I like the numbers because for clarity, because the people know what they're choosing. So actually, I like both, and I cannot really decide too much between one and the other. I think at the end I will have it with the number. Let's try with the number. Let's try with the number. Let's try with the number. Let's try. I mean, for sure is more clear, right? For sure is more clear what is going on for the player. Even if consider that the player has no idea what 55 means in our world, right? But when he compares it to the other races, he can understand it, right? So you can say, oh, on a scale of 1 to 50, because it is from 1 to 50, the other guy is 10% less or whatever, right? So you can see that he's less by 10 points. But I don't know if adding all these numbers is actually confusing the people more. I mean, for sure for people that played already, or they are not at their first character, or that they are testing the character creation again, this number is useful, right? For those people, this number is useful. But for the others, I think it may be a bit confusing. But anyway, we have the number, so we can show it. Right, we have the number. So when we do the bar setup, which I don't remember if I have. Yes, this update bar percent. So we can say update bar. We can add another parameter, which is value. And value can be an integer, and we will take no, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. Is not the bar, is before this, is when we update the wall thingy. Yes, it's actually here. What a mess, this code. Let me put a comment that says set up bar colors once and for all. And this is set bar values based on race selected, right? Well, I mean it doesn't mean it's on race selected only. They can also be on other stuff, right? Because in the next screens these things will grow or not. Okay, so I think we can take our agility. No, wait. We can take our agility, our charisma, our endurance, our intelligence, and our strength, and our will, and obviously, yes, and obviously they are all in the wrong positions, but okay, now they are in a better position. And we will just set the text. Hello. I am Bright. You are hosting the stream. Thank you for that. Thank you. So if we do this and we do this, even if I'm going, I mean, I'm probably going soon. But I wanted to progress a bit on this because I think it's a nice addition. I want to test it a bit myself. I mean, to see how it looks and to see if it's not too much. But for now, I like it. For now, I like the addition. If we can keep the same, you know, pattern also in the next screens, then I think it will be nice. Meaning that if every time you do it, you make a choice, right? If every time you make a choice, you can see how your character's base stats are actually changing, I think it's kind of it start to be, you know, meaningful and useful. Because at the moment that's not the case in our character creation. By the way, it was done by purpose. It was done by purpose based on a choice, based on my choice of being a character creation completely based on role play and not caring about the numbers at all. But the problem is that the numbers are, you know, are there, and I think it's not very nice to hide them until the end, and then at the end in the old game, at the end we are showing them, and so basically you say like, I did all these choices and now my character is super low on these stats, while I think it was not. I mean, yes, I chose that thing based on his background, but still I don't want to play this character. So yeah, so I think that they, you know, the result of the old system is that you may get a character you don't like playing, and so you just delete it and create another one, and then you go back and forth forever trying to build the one that you want. So at the end, mission would be accomplished.
The long-lived Elven Nothrir originate
75, 30, 50, 40, 80, 43. Okay, these are already the right numbers. These are already the right numbers. And you can hide and show it this way. So if you want to stay, you know, full role play, you don't care about the numbers, you just don't show that panel. Okay, you don't click on it. If you click on it and it seems too complex, you just hide it and you never look at it again. Okay, if you don't want to see it, you just hide it and is okay. But you're going to say, oh, this guy has 75 strength, right? Oh, interesting. This guy has 75 strength. Okay, let's try this guy. This guy is only 50. But he has... Now, these values are fake, because they are all 50. But, right? So you go through that and you start to realize if you like the guy or not. Yeah, I think with the value is probably better. And then when you confirm the guy, we go to the next screen, and in the next screen I think the UI will be a bit annoying, because this panel will be a bit in the middle. But okay, so how do we do it? In the next screen, which is the zodiac screens, which is the zodiac. Is here. So we need to copy the same window, I mean the same control, this guy, over this panel, right? I would position it in exactly the same place so that people kind of get used to it, because they see it in the first screen and then they see it again and again and again, and they start to say, okay, that is something I can click on, you know, continuously to see that information. Now the problem is that now the information of this panel will be pretty much on top of the symbols that we choose. And also the other problem is that I don't have a way to update the panel at the moment. I don't have a way, but we can add it. We can add it. So when you click on, not when you click on choose, but when you click on, good question. It's probably inside the zodiacs itself. Follow spline, unclicked, unclicked, clicked. No, it's not this one for sure. What is this thing, by the way? I'm not using it. Why we have this thing? And this thing? Who is calling this? Someone is calling this for sure. Yeah, it's the life choice manager, I guess. Handle zodiacs click. Okay. Is in life choice manager. Handle zodiacs click. So this one is doing some work when we click on one zodiac item. Right, so current zodiac item, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And now we are exactly at the point where we started the discussion, right? Because we created that widget because we were here, okay? We were here, and we said, you remember this was 2 days ago, and we said, oh, we are in the zodiac selection. I'm gonna add -10 will and -10 strength as an example, right? Sorry, +10 will and -10 strength. Now, how I'm going to show it to the player? So the discussion started here, and we created that widget, right, with all the bars and stuff. So now we are at the point of this. So I would like to decide these values, right? I would like to decide these values. And then I would like these values to generate a script. Now the big issue is that in addition to generate the script, we also need to put it on the UI, right? Because my UI needs to know. Well, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I think we can. I think we can have. But I need to have it. But I need to have it. It's not very easy. This is not very easy. This is not very easy. This is not very easy. The problem we have is the following. The problem we have is the following. We have these things, right? We have these things, which are displayed at the bottom of the screen on the client side. The problem is that the server is doing stuff, right, while you generate your character. So it's basically checking that you are not cheating, right? So it's basically checking at every one of your choices that you are not sending fake data, right? And this is very important because we don't want the people to create characters with 400 stats at the beginning just because they send us fake data, right? So so there is a continuous exchange, you know, between client and server, which is basically validating that whatever choice you do is the right choice. I mean, is a possible, is a valid choice. Now, for the starting stats, it was kind of easy because the starting stats are kind of fixed and they're just numbers. But unfortunately for the zodiacs, they are a bit more complex because for zodiacs, they are not numbers anymore. But for zodiacs, they are scripts. Like this. Holy shit. So, and basically what happens is that the client collects all these selections and then he's sending this selection to the server and the server is applying them through the script to your character, right? And the script may include stats, skills, or animal affinity. The animal affinity is the way to choose pet or any way to be connected to a certain, let's say, a certain element or a certain aspect of the animal kingdom, right? Whatever it is. It can be darkness and light, it can be fire and acid, it can be claws or tail, it can be a lot of stuff. There is a very big question how to do it though. Because the question is, considering we may have a script, you know, considering we may have a script that is affecting stats, skills, and animal affinity, and considering that the script is basically executed only on the server, right? And in theory is executed only at the end of the character creation after all the choices have been made, all the scripts are run, and your character is getting, you know, finalized. How do we transform these choices into something that I can show in my UI, right? Because at the moment, and also how do we evolve this UI? How do we evolve this UI to include the skills and the animal affinity? Do we want to or not? We can avoid it for now if we want, but in theory it would be nice, you know, that you have this panel like we have shown that is telling you strength, agility, blah 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 blah, and then in addition, you know, if your character is getting some skills because, I don't know, because you selected a certain path, he's also telling you, hey, now you have, you know, now you have herbalism +3 or something like that. I don't know. Herbalism rank number 3, right? We can say +3 for simplicity so that people understand it. and this can be a list. I think in the character creation, probably you're getting maybe maximum 4 or 5 of this, but still this becomes something, right? This becomes a list. So this may be a list of 4 or 5 items plus the description. So this panel that now we have it pretty small, it may become a pretty big panel, right? It may become something that even slides from the wall right side of the screen on top of the character, right? Maybe that could be a way. Instead of having the small, well, we can still have the small button at the bottom, but what I'm saying is that, I mean, if it includes also all the skills, it becomes a full panel, right? It becomes a full panel that is, you know, doing something like that. So while you go through the character creation, you see this thing that you can display or not, and it's popping up. Now maybe it's not that smooth, maybe we just appear and disappear, but they shows you where you are, you know, and what you are selecting, right? And then you can have the description at the bottom anyway. So there could be anyway a box, you know, at the bottom with a description of whatever you select. If you select a stat, it will tell you about the stat. If you select a skill, it will tell you about the skill. If you select the animal affinity, it will tell you about the animal affinity. Yes, I think that is the way. I think that is the way we should do it, boys. No? I think it is the way we should do it. The only problem I have is to figure out, but now it's getting late, so it will have to be for another day. But the only problem I need to figure out is how to do this exchange between client and server when the character creation is going on, because I think that when we select, for example, when we select the zodiacs, right? When we select the zodiacs, I don't think we do. I mean, I think our life choice managers knows it. But I'm not sure if our no. Because yeah, there is a bit of reasoning I need to do, because this thing changed between the old game and the new game. I mean, this is definitely different. And so I need to go back and check 1 second the creation manager. And I need to understand on the creation manager what is happening every time you do a choice. And now that zodiacs are separate, probably to add a new validation for that. Because you see, we do all the checking in the upload message, right? This is the upload of the character, and it is doing all the checks that what you actually did is valid and what you actually did is meaningful. But exactly, I need to understand where in the code we have the validation of the single choice, if we have it anywhere. I think they were these pieces. There were these messages. You see, there is a message that was traveling in the old game between server and client and back. And they were adding choices, but they were not doing the calculation. They were not doing the calculation, boys. They were not doing the calculation. Yeah, the checking is only done at the end. Also in the old game. I mean, in the old game, the check is all done at the end. So when you upload the character, so it's not done at every choice. It's not done at every choice. Now, if you want to show the progression of your character based on the choices that you make, then I don't know if this is too. I mean, I don't know if this is too much, though. I mean, I don't know if I'm getting, you know, ahead of myself with this panel. But I think it would be much clearer. Because basically what I need to do, every time you select, or we do it between major screens, so between race and zodiacs and life choices, and then at the end of the life choices, because in the old game you had a summary screen. In the old game you had a summary screen, and in the new game we don't have a summary screen anymore, because it's more story driven than numbers driven, right? And in the upload, handle upload message, which is here, is calculating all the choices, and I think there should be also a rejection if the choices don't fit, right? I don't know exactly where is it, but there should be a place. Yeah, it is. right? So if you send to the server data which is not consistent, it will tell you that you exceeded the choices. But it's doing it purely on a character point cost allowance, right? On a character point allowance. Yes. And then it's creating your character. Right? It's creating your character. And then there must be a place, which I don't know exactly where is it, but where is executing all the scripts. Here it is. There is the part where for every creation choice that you made, including the zodiacs, is finding the choice in the database, well, in the memory loaded from the database, and then is actually running that against your character, right? So I can do this. I can do this myself. I can do it. I mean, I can do it at every choice. The only issue I see is the undo, because, okay, okay. Let me summarize. You choose the race, and we have the stats. The stats are actually sent back. You know, the stats are sent back to the client, and we display the stats in this widget, okay? And that's easy because that's a numerical value that is happening on the race one time and is never changed. Now the problem are all the other choices. So when you make other choices, right? So, for example, you choose, I don't know, a special event, special birth event, okay, which is one of the choices that you have. Here, this one is associated to a script, right? This one is associated to a script, and the script needs to run, you know, for us to know. Right. So this one is associated to a script, and so in theory, yes, we could go here and we could ask the server to execute the script. Can we do it? Yes, we can do it. The problem is that, so execute the script on, you know, a dummy PS char, which leaves only for the character creation. I can do that. And so we can then send back, you know, we can send back the result in terms of stats, skills, and animal affinity. That we can do. And we can repeat this over and over, right? So this can be repeated. Now the problem, so I can, you know, repeat this over and over and continue to increase, you know, stats. Or now the problem is the undo. So when you select one choice and you say, no, I don't like this choice, and you drop it, right? In the character creation, you can do it. You can choose something and then choose something else, and then delete one and choose it again. So in that sense, will be a bit tough for me to execute the opposite of one script, because actually I don't know if we can execute the opposite of one script. Maybe we can already, because for example when we equip, I think we probably in our code we can already do the reverse of a script, because like when you equip a weapon which has specific bonuses, I don't know, to your strength or to the damage, then when you put the weapon away, we are removing those bonuses, right? And I think that's done automatically. We don't have a reverse script. The reverse script gets created automatically, so I could do that. Another way, so this is one way. I think this way is a bit more compliant with our system, because we are reusing the scripting system. We are just executing the script on a dummy character and we see what we get as a result. The drawback of this system is the undo, then I need to understand how to do it, and is all the back and forth between client and server. But I think the back and forth I don't care too much. I care more for the undo and the fact that the data stays proper. Another way to do it, instead of this piece, would be but it is very complex. Would be to associate, you know, specific value to each choice directly on the client side, so that the client knows that that particular choice is giving you +3 herbalism, okay, or is giving you night affinity. And if we can somehow associate that to the client side, right, in an easy way, I don't know what that way can be, but I mean in an easy way, then I can do all of this reasoning client side and just add and remove. So basically I will have my dummy character. Instead of having on the server side, I will have it on the client side, and I will have it maybe in a simpler way. The problem is, how do I store that data considering that, and how do I know that I need to have that data if my data is actually a script, right? Because my data is a script. I cannot execute the script on the client side. I don't think so. Because I don't have anything on the client side about scripting. All my scripting is server side. So I will have any way to ask the server to do it for me. I don't know, I need to think about this. For stats is easy. And we did it. For skills and animal affinity is more complex. And for multiple choices is more, yeah, I think the complexity is scripting plus multiple choices, then you can undo. The old game was taking a very simple approach, saying, okay, do all the choices you want, and then I will show you the result only at the end. We may take the same approach. Huh? We may say, okay, do all your choices, and this thing will not change, right, until the very end. But I think it's a pity. Okay, boys, I need to go because it's late, but I think it was a good session. We did some fixes, we displayed the thing, we did some reasoning on how to do this part. I need to think more about it, but We will see each other on. We will see each other on not tomorrow, because tomorrow I think I'm tabletop again. Dungeon Master on a tabletop, and I will see you on Saturday afternoon. By the way, Saturday, the technician for the new fiber optic line, you know, for the fiber connection is coming here. So I think that I don't think he will do it in one session, but I will know if I have 1 gigabyte or not, I think, on Saturday. So I will update you on that. They will speed up a bit the speed of the current test system. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. See you on Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, test the game if you can. Find bugs, report them on the bug tracker, because the more we test now, and the easiest will be the transition, okay, to the new game. So I see someone is reporting stuff, but more people doing it, the best. So test the game, report bugs, and let me know if you think that the game is ready for migration or not. Because one day we will have to decide to migrate. Bye bye. Bye bye.